Hello friends, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing Warriors Clan Gen Part 3. I've seen several people ask for this video, so I'm really excited about it. Hopefully you like it. Quick background for people who might not know, Part 1 of my Warriors Clan Gen series, I made a clan. Part 2, I designed the kids of that clan. And so now in part 3, we're going to take a look at all the kits grown up. And of course, with that, we gotta have some story updates. And I'll reveal all their warrior names at the end of the video. Okay, so up first is Shadow Kit. In her kit video, we talked about how Shadow Kit is a leader. She's loyal and protective, and she's also the largest of all of the siblings, so she's pretty useful in a fight. I drew these cats in such a random order, so I apologize if that gets confusing, because Shadow Kit is the second oldest kit of all the siblings, but I swear we eventually get to all of them, so hopefully it's not that big of a deal. So in the last video, I mentioned that the dynamic between Shadow Kit and Owl Kit is such that Owl Kit will get into trouble and then Shadow Kit will swoop in to help get him out of trouble. So I figured it would be really apt to have a story about them as apprentices where Owlpaw gets into trouble, so Shadowpaw comes and saves him. So I'm gonna say that when Shadowpaw and Owlpaw were apprentices, Owlpaw thought it would just be the greatest and coolest idea to go hunting a fox that had been, skulking around the territory. Now the problem when Owlpaw goes fox hunting is that Owlpaw doesn't know what the heck to do when he finds the fox. Naturally, as the extremely protective, not older sister, Shadowpaw follows him, and thankfully, she's there to help fight off the fox. Now, normally apprentices probably can't fight off the fox, but I'm gonna say that it was like a sickly fox, so the two apprentices together were able to get it to run away. And this instance results in a running joke where Shadowpaw gets to call Owlpaw fox food, whenever she's upset with him, because he would have been fox food without her. I'm 90% sure that this type of situation where Owlpaw goes to do something stupid and Shadowpaw has to, save him has happened many times when they were apprentices and young warriors. So if you have any more ideas for Owlpaw antics that Shadowpaw has to, save him from, write them in the comments. I also mentioned that Shadow Kit and then Shadowpaw is 100% a teacher's pet, so she's probably also had to smack him to pay attention when they're training multiple times. Honestly, I might have to draw all these cats again because I have more ideas than can fit into the little footage of me drawing them each, so I don't know. Maybe in another video I can have additional stories of the DuskClan kits. But in any case, without wasting too much time, this is Rose Kit. Rose Kit is kind of similar to Shadow Kit in that she's a natural leader, but Rose Kit is super charismatic and a lot less the type of cat that's gonna follow the rules. She is the smallest and youngest of all the siblings, but she is extremely brave and extremely loud and extremely bossy. Oh yeah, and did I mention she has a massive temper? So all in all, she's quite the firecracker. And in her kit video, I mentioned the fact that if any of the kits were gonna become cult leaders, it would be Rose Kit. And we kind of discussed a story in the video and then in the comments that Rose Kit kind of ends up with a faction of supporters around her, and there's this idea that she's gonna try to overthrow the leader, and the deputy or future deputy at the time would be Shadow Kit, or Warrior Shadow Kit, but still. And I'm not exactly sure how she comes to create this faction. Maybe some rogues join the clan and they're like, you know what, you would actually be a much better leader or something like that. Because she is so charismatic, she would be the type of cat that if a rogue kind of came across her, they'd be like, "Oh, you're interesting. Like, what's your story? And I want to join the clan." And then, like, of course, in the end, she makes up with her sister and they become best friends forever. But Rose Kit is definitely the source of some serious conflict in the story of DuskClan. The next cat I wanted to draw is Owl Kit. Already mentioned that Owl Kit is the wild child of all of the siblings. He's also the oldest sibling, so he is by far and away a terrible influence on all of his siblings and any other young cats he comes in contact with. He gets into many misadventures over the course of his apprenticeship, and I have a feeling that he ropes his siblings in with him. Sleek Kit is pretty quiet, so maybe she would be like easily roped in, and then Ice Kit is very self-important, so if Owl Kit challenged her to do something, she'd probably do it. This is another cat where I wish I had more time to talk about his adventures. In the comments of the last video, we also talked about how it would be really funny for Owl Kit to be like, basically be the first one to actually have kids of his own and deal with their antics and kind of like have to suddenly become responsible. So yeah. Okay, next up is Sleet Kit. I had a hard time with her drawing for some reason. Her face, I'm so sorry. Even in the end, I'm not super happy with it. So, I mean, I need to redraw her anyway. Might as well redraw all of them. As I mentioned, Sleet Kit is quiet and shy, but she actually does have like a secret temper, like secretly strong emotions. She just like holds her emotions in, which like when pressed naturally leads her to like snap a little bit sometimes, but I don't think she'd ever do anything like actually mean. She'd just stand up for herself, and that would be like her snapping. And it would be a surprise because normally she's so quiet. I also, in the last video, mentioned she is like very much this middle child type character who doesn't get a lot of attention, so naturally that makes me want to think up like a romance arc for her where maybe like a new cat comes in and like really pays attention to her because he really likes her, and it's like surprising for her and she's like, whoa, what is all this attention? Oh my goodness. I don't know, I just feel she deserves attention in some way. Anyway, again, always welcome more ideas from other people. Oh my gosh, I'm already like halfway through Ice Kit, and her painting is actually the one that I like the most out of all the kits. And like she's interesting too because she has this very like self-important kind of narcissistic personality, but she's not a narcissist because she actually is nice. Like once you get to know her, you realize like, you know what, she's never really done anything mean. She's just kind of full of herself. And she like helps people out anyway. Geez, these are going by so fast because of the Procreate speed paint versus like the normal. Anyway, this is Heather Kit. She's actually a curly coated cat, and that actually makes her really fun to draw. But at the same time, I'm not super happy with how her artwork turned out either, so that's great. Anyway, we've established that Heather Kit is sweet, gentle, loving, super kind. She is pretty quiet as a kit, but the older she gets, the more confidence she gets. I think that's pretty normal. Oh yeah, this is the first version of her artwork, and she just, that version of her like is kind of creepy to me, which is definitely not her personality. In any case, I mentioned before that because she has this gentle nature, cats tend to not really take her too seriously, but the more she gains her voice as she ages, the more cats realize that she's actually one of the smartest cats in the clan, and she does have really good ideas. Her personality kind of seems to lend her to a medicine cat role, which I think would be really good for her, but the current medicine cat is actually pretty young, so I think it would be interesting if the way Heather Kit gets into medicine cat-ing is like through some sort of accident or disaster where they need more helping paws and she steps up because she has an affinity for it. I do have like so much more to say about all of these cats. I thought that the Procreate speed paint would be slow enough that I could like get an explanation out of like apprentice adventures, but that didn't happen. So, I might have to make another video, but I really like these kits, so that's not too big of a deal for me. Okay, now to the final roundup and the reveal of the warrior names, which are pretty much entirely courtesy of this wonderful commenter. Thank you very much, you're better at naming things than I am. Alright, so Owl Kit becomes Owl Blaze. Shadow Kit becomes Shadow Strike. Heather Kit becomes Heather Cloud. Sleet Kit becomes Sleet Whisper. Rose Kit becomes Rose Fire. I think that's very on the money. And Ice Kit becomes Ice Breeze. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this kind of just quick video about the kids of DuskClan. I think actually for my next DuskClan video, it would be interesting to make a scene from the kids' story and explain what happened. And then depending on how long that takes, I can add in more details about their lives and overall DuskClan lives. So just let me know if you think that's a good idea, and also let me know additional ideas that you have. I absolutely love doing videos from commenters, so please give me your ideas. With that, all I have left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.